Welcome back YouTube. So, Copart cars. Seems to be a lot of people getting into buying salvage after watching some like mainstream YouTube accounts from salvage buyers, such as salvage rebuilds, etc, etc. Now, salvage rebuilds actually do show you that not everything they buy is fantastic, which is brilliant, but they have all the equipment to sort, and a lot of people don't. So, category cars or unrecorded at Copart. Let me show you the difference. So, I have bought quite a lot of salvage cars from auction, repaired quite a lot, various states, but I'm going to show you now the difference, what you need to expect when you're buying and dipping into salvage. You should only buy with money you can afford to lose, because whatever you are buying, you've got to understand it is a gamble. So let me take you around this little Peugeot I've just bought. Now, I only buy insurance cars, categoried, and the reason why is evident, because you get damage. Once you repair the damage, that's it. Mainly, 9 times out of 10, that car will be running fine. But this time, I've bought a little Peugeot, 2 keys, unrecorded it was, but it had damage on the wing. Now, I should have took the note of used unrecorded and avoided, because I don't buy used unrecorded, but I thought maybe it was stolen recorded, don't know. Looked on the windscreen codes, because Copart have windscreen codes. If you don't know the codes, you need to do your research. So I did the HD pictures, zoomed in. I actually thought it was a letter E on the windscreen, which denotes it's an insurance. So X, E or P is usually insurance cars. So if it's got a letter C on there, it means it's a Copart car or like a private entry. So I'm going to show you around this Peugeot as to what to expect. So it has got a little bit of damage on there, which I was aware. So I'll show you around, and what you've also got to expect to be paying additional to these. So there we go, 308 1.6 diesel. So AdBlue light on, not a problem. We've got tank in boot because it's AdBlue one. But this, now I'm going to cover the numbers because it's not fair on Copart. But you see, it's a C car. Starts, 2 keys, and I believe that stands for received. So generally don't look too bad. Showed a bit of damage on wing, not a problem. Repair that is basically what I saw. What you don't see, what they also don't tell you, is all the tyres are knackered, literally knackered. All the wheels pictures weren't very clear, are knackered. Brakes knackered. Let's come to the back wheel again. Let's look at the tyre. Knackered. I can't sell a car with that on. Back discs knackered. When you start looking, why does it come with tape on? They put windows down on the auction. Come, window mech's knackered. So I'm going to quickly do the maths, guys, just so not only have I bought a car to repair a bit of damage on the front, that's not a problem. I expected that. It said clutch pedal was on the floor as well, which is typical Peugeot master cylinder, not a problem. Comes 40 quid. Driver's one as well is knackered. Driver's mech's knackered. That one, 80 quid. So 120 quid before we've even done anything now. So you bought this, you think you're getting a bargain, 120 quid. Tyres and wheels. Wheels, old car, you probably could leave them, but that one is just fucking that bad. It's it was easy. I've bought a set of second-hand wheels and tyres for this for 300 quid in a lot better condition. Brakes, £170 for discs and pads all the way around. So you see we're adding up now, so we're into 80, 120, so 120 plus for 170 for the brakes, 290 plus 300 for wheels, so we're into like 590 now, 5 extra on what's on the car. So that's before you found any other bits of paintwork or damage, and I've not even took it down road yet because there's no clutch. So evidently this car could want various suspension work without it's not being on ramp. It could have a snap coil spring. So straight away, not only did I buy it with a damage, but we're into an additional £600. Will I make profit on the car? Yes, because I only bid cheap on it, to be honest, and it was one of those cars where I'll buy it if it comes cheap. If it doesn't, I'm happy to walk away. So we were trying to I won it on minimum bid, but I tried asking me £27.50 for the car plus fees. Take it to around about 3,200 quid. So the wing on it was 180 quid for wing and colour, and I will paint the bumper corner and repair the headlight tab. But you can understand now, I paid 2,200 quid for the car out the door, everything all in. So quick maths, before I even fix this thing, I'm probably going to be 2,200 quid for car, 100 quid it was to have it delivered, so I'm 23 plus an MOT, we'll say around about to 23 and a half. 120 for window regs, 24 and a half, 24.70. Wheels and tyres, 27.70. 170 for brakes, 28.70, 70 at 29.40 plus logbook application because it didn't come with that. That's another 25 quid. 28.40. I did tally everything up and I got it down to 3,200 quid in the car, done. Is that a good buy? I personally think it is. Oh, master cylinder were 90 quid or something. Yeah, I did. I did tally everything up, down, and it come to like 3,200 quid. Do I think it was a good buy? Yeah, I do. Did I think it'd be a good buy if I paid a minimum bid, what they were trying to get out of me? No, not at all. I actually literally, this went on for a full day, and I was actually getting offers coming back from Copart. They was sending me like trying to do deals with me, doing the minimum bid, and I got one at like 8:15 at night time. So if you think, right, Copart, but they're working overtime, so there is people at Copart working out of hours. So if you think when it gets to 5:30, boom, you're going to get nothing, think again, because I was getting offers at stupid hours. Because I was a believer of this. I was always, once it's 5, if it's cheap enough, just go with it. And I've always just gone, if I really wanted a car, I'd go a smidge. But if I'm really not asked about the car, I will literally just stick by my bid. What I won it at auction, which is I'm a firm believer of, you win it at auction, you're the highest bidder. You're paying the most for it. So they should award you it. But it's not the case. So all I'm doing here is trying to show you guys when people think, oh, you bought a car at salvage, you're going to make loads and loads and loads of money on it. It's not always the case. I'm at 3,300 quid before I've even touched a spanner on that. I have literally bought everything sat there. But imagine now if I start that up and, well, I've had it running, but if gearbox is knackered, or it needs suspension springs, it's more money out of the pot. Now that car will be up for sale for 4,895 or something along them lines, because at the end of the day, it's done 100 thou, it's a diesel, and it is still a used unrecorded car, even though there's damage on the wing. But this is the insurance scam, because if insurance repaired that wing, well, it's unrecorded, used unrecorded. I could have bought a Cat N with that same damage, and people had snubbed the nose at a Cat N, but they'll happily buy that because it's used unrecorded. Now, I don't buy, like I said earlier, I don't buy used unrecorded, because everything used unrecorded that goes through Copart with a C on the windscreen is an absolute pile of shit, as you can see, what I've bought. But you don't mind buying a pile of shit if you do your fundamentals. Is it running in the picture? Yes, if it is, check the additional info. Does it say knocking noise from engine bay? No, it said transmission fault, clutch pedal on floor. Now, I've done these Peugeots before, and I know they suffer with clutch master cylinder problems, and for an external slave. So I knew this, which is why I was smart when I bid. So what I'm like trying to get over to you guys is, it's not all sunshine and rainbows when you're buying these. You have to budget extra for other people not looking after that car. You have to do your own work. You've got to do your MOT history checks. You've got to do stuff. But obviously, I'm showing you this because this is a private entry or a Copart sales car, not an insurance car. What I do is stick to insurance car. I would rather have a Cat N car than repair that, and I'd rather sell it as a Cat N than have a used unrecorded one that I've got to go through the entire car. I've had, for example, I've just repaired the same car, albeit a 14, but a Feline, pretty much same. That's an Allure. Feline's just got the bigger wheels. I've just repaired one of those, pulled it out of Copart for less money than that, for less. 26,000 mile on it. But by the time I'd bought the bumper and everything, the money on them Peugeots add up. 180 quid just for a corner fog lamp on these Peugeots. You're paying 700 quid for a complete front bumper. So it just goes to show you need to know what you buy. Did I make money on that last one? Obviously, because I'm not in the game to lose money. I don't repair stuff to lose money. Everything has to make money. If not, it's not worth you doing it. Have I lost money on cars before? Yes. I'll tell you where I've lost money on cars before. I have bought a Seat Leon, Cat N, come out, looked underneath it, all 4 CV boots split, 2 front coil springs snapped, lack of peel all over it. Do you know when people ask for cheap cars? I don't entertain them. Do not entertain old, cheap cars, because everything old and cheap in Copart have been owned by people who don't have a lot of money, who don't want to maintain the car, and they're usually bags of shit. So, and your profit margin's smaller, you have to put more time into it, go on maintenance, bags of shit. So this Seat Leon came, turbo was blown. Decided to put turbo on there. Well, I didn't, Trevor did. And whenever he drove it, kept picking up on its own oil. So I could only put it down to it swallowed some debris from the old blown turbo and scored the boat. That's all, without deep stripping it. But sometimes you just got to know when to cut the line and save your time. Your time is more valuable than money. So that did. Weren't putting any more time into it. Do you know where it went? Yeah, you got it. Back into Copart. And someone else bought it. So I look underneath it and go, oh, turbo's blown. Look underneath it and go, that's a brand new turbo. There you go. So when I've got shit, it goes back in as a private entry. So that's what I'm getting at, guys. So just be mindful what you're buying. Check the mileage. Check the running on pictures. If they're not running on the pictures, have a calculated guess. Was that car running pre-accident? I've bought cars not shown as running, which I knew they had to be running to hit the curb. They had to be running to be hit. and be smart with it. Could it have damaged the engine in the crash? You know, I'll not get on the, well, I will, I'll touch on it now. So Cat N cars, Cat S cars. I've had Cat N cars with, in fact, to be honest, I've had one on jig recently of a friend, Cat N, both legs, both chassis legs, pointing off to one side. I had an awkward it, 2-inch across, these were. So I've jigged both chassis legs straight for him. Should have been an S, top and bottom, bent chassis legs. I've also had Cat S cars that have nothing. They've absolutely had nothing. So, and I've also had Cat S cars that should be Cat Bs, which looked fantastic on pictures until they come. So just be a bit mindful, guys, what you buy, and basic rules. Can you afford to lose the money? If the answer is yes, go ahead, buy. If it's no, don't. Next rule, check your history. Has it got shit MOT history? Yeah, chances are it's a nail. Is it running in picture? Yes. Bid on it. If it doesn't say additional info in there. If it's not running in picture, have yourself a calculated guess. Bid low. Always consider that potentially it might need an engine. Water flood damage, good luck with them. Don't entertain me. Chances are they're all in there, they've took a gulp of water, bent a conrod. You're into an engine before you start. I avoid them like the plague, as well as venue into, if you've got any like Passats have floor mount BCMs and stuff, you're just into that. It's not worth the time, effort, energy, do it. So just a few pointers there, just to show you really what you need to be looking at. So, because if you end, well, I say if you end up like that ain't bad. I'm not sour on that. There's still wages, plenty of wages in that for me. It's what I do. So, but that's only because I've been smart with my bidding. If I'd actually agreed to pay £27.50 for that, plus fees, 3,200 quid out the door. So 3,200 quid, 300 quid for some wheels, that's 3.5. Brakes, 170, say about 37. I'll do it quick. Wing, blah blah blah. I could have easily tallied up now 30. Well, I get 22 for it out the door. They would have wanted 32 for it. It's another grand. So I reckon I'd have 32 in that done. I'd have 42 in that done. So do I want 3,200 quid in that car and bid correctly like I have, or do I want 4,200 quid in it to market it at 48.95 for someone to come and go, will you take 46 for it? Do I want to do all that work for 400 quid? No, I don't. But this is where you have to be calculated with what you're buying. And I do see it. You see it on the Facebook pages. I've bought this. Is it worth it? Do you think it's worth it? Do you think you can sell it? That's top and bottom. End of the day, you're on Copart, whether you're a newbie or not, you bid on something, you need to buy it, top and bottom. Because it's the genuine people like myself and a lot of the other genuine people that are bidding on stuff, and you've got all these new people who've come in and watch salvage rebuilds, and they'll watch Matt Armstrong repair some BMW, and they're like, oh, I'll have a go at that, and they'll come in. And just because it says pre-accident value 8 grand does not mean it's an 8 grand car. Let's get that straight. It means potentially it's a 6 grand car. So you need to be calculated with your bid, and you need to stick to your bid. I used to do it. You used to get carried away with bidding, and you chuck another 100 quid here, and you think, oh, I'll just chuck another 100 quid, and blah blah blah. It's got to the point with some stuff is, if I'm not really bothered about the car, I will chuck a cheap bid on. And you know what? I'm to the point where I'll maybe put 3 or 4 cheap bids on stuff. And if I win them, I win them. If you don't, it is what it is. Move on to the next one. There's others. I sometimes buy 3 or 4 at a time because I get them at right money. But then there's weeks go by and I'm looking at stuff and I'm thinking, hold on. it's a £3,000 car, and people have bid 2,300 quid plus fees, and it's got damage on it, and I'm just scratching my head like, what are they actually doing? Do these know? Is there a kilo of coke in boot? Do you know? Do you know what I mean? It is absolutely manic what some people will be paying for these cars. So yeah, I'm going to leave it at that, guys. But just do your research, and do, if you do bid, make sure you buy, because it's genuine people like me. I've bid on the same car week after week after week, and it does get annoying when you keep winning it, they don't award you it, but then you watch other stuff. Some week will come in, and then some nugget who's looked pre-accident value £8,000. I'll pay six grand for that plus fees. You know, not realising you can buy one on road for £6,000. So anyway, stay safe, guys. Bid wisely, and I wish all of you the best of luck in whatever you're buying. I have a few pointers there, just to have a look, like I said. Always, another thing actually, before I go, make sure you view them on a desktop and you click the HD sign. Click the HD, zoom in, and one thing I will say to you is, as well, got a bit of damage on wing, make sure you look at all pictures and make sure the wheels are pointing in the same direction, because I've seen a few of my friends get caught out with this, and as soon as I've looked, I said, oh, I want tire end and probably steering arm, potentially a bottom arm. And they're like, no, it looks all right. And I said, well, why is that wheel pointing to the right and that one straight? And they look and go, oh yeah, I didn't see that, Dave. So this is what I mean. These are all the telltales. They do get creative with the pictures, so just be wise. So anyway, cheers for listening to me talk bollocks, guys. Hopefully a few tips there. Keep going hard, keep repairing them, keep earning money, and that's what we're in the game for, earning money, and stay safe. Don't forget, like and subscribe.